Wake up, goddammit. Welcome to MARKETcast with Unk and Market Monk. Morning, P. How's your week?
It was good. One of the things we said last week was that everyone kind of goes home for the new year. So a lot of stocks were in that sort of 0.5% to 1% sort of movement. Definitely not good for options, but there were some bright spots we've been on in crypto, and some. I had a few like Ulta, John Deere. Just some reliable ones. Kind of light, but did well overall.
Yeah, definitely real light for me. Couple stocks I'm staying on right now just because of the you have to buy your thesis, and sometimes the thesis you got to work through the holidays. So still on a
Yeah,
couple of those table pounders. Yeah, real interested. Kind of interested in the psychological resistance we're seeing on a lot of healthy charts. A couple of news pullbacks. But yeah. Other than that, I like what I see. I'm
So I
surprised. I'm surprised we're above our numbers as much as we are. I mean, I said 67. You said 71. We ended at like 75. So I do expect, kind of a similar to the start of December, where we kind of were a little bit sideways, maybe even a little down on some charts, but then we took right back off. So yeah, good week
so yeah,
overall. But
early November. I think it was early November when we talked about is SPY gonna bust through that high, and I was saying no up to that point, and then when the SaaS stocks started to wake up, I'm like, oh, okay, never mind, we probably are, but we did exceed that by a lot. So no, I'm pleased with it. One of the things I really like though is that there's a lot of sectors that are still kind of oversold that haven't gotten their rotation yet, and I see some of that waking up. So it gets riskier and more expensive to play some of the stocks that have been hot up at the levels where they're at. So there's still you can move around to some cheaper stuff that I think will give some safe trades. I had a question about price action that I wanted to go over with you
let's
on
go.
a particular chart. So this is SMCI,
Oh,
and
big
what I
name.
said on Friday was that I'm like, if this flushes hard this morning, there's going to be a good trade there. I look around 280, and that's exactly what it did. I just traded this stock enough, to kind of. I didn't know it was going to go to 280, but I'm like, at 280, it's probably going to bounce. It did. It went all the way back to 286. So, I mean, what's happening mechanically in a movement like that, where you get the big move down that's sustained, and then the stock it finishes the day down, but it kind of levels out at the end of the day, especially on a Friday. What in your experience, what's going on there?
Well, you just have the initial move or the first move. That's there's a first move and a secondary move, correct? Like that's part of that. Um,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
this just didn't have like in general. Let's say the market maker or they, right? Everyone believes they're
yeah,
behind the curtain Wizard of Oz guy. So let's talk about him. He wants to
right, right.
sell. He wants to sell his apples and not disturb the market. So he wants to start at a buck and end at a buck, right? That's what he wants to do, and he wants to make money throughout the day. So sometimes he's gonna, have to make a deal. Sometimes he's gonna have to kind of pinch somebody because they want a specific size of apple. So, like as it moves through the price range out the day, that market maker wants it to go back to the same price it opened as, for lack of better terms. Like they don't want it to go up or down. They want to control the market. This a chart like this, if the volume just bleeds out, there's not enough lift to get it back. So he's probably still holding some apples at the end of the day. Basically, that's the best way to put it.
And on that initial move, there just wasn't enough momentum from the sellers to break
You
it
you
down
you want to know what drives me to that point
further.
right away? Like, really? I just look at this right here. I mean, all my shit's labeled and
What's that?
numbered. Is this right here? This is 70%. 70% of the 30-day bar is what we got.
Hmm.
So we're 30%
Yeah,
short of the normal last 30 days of volume here. So it just came up short. Like, if it had 110%, this probably would have got back or right above close. Or, yeah, previous close, sorry.
gotcha.
Or open. I wouldn't go
Yeah,
previous close.
yeah.
I'd go open. Sometimes you gap up. But yeah. So that volume is bleeding. And I'm assuming, I didn't even look, but I'm assuming that's been the theory of the last couple of days. Yeah. Let me go back to my
Oh, that's
daily
great.
volume.
And so and what and I look at the options, as this stuff is happening, and how I decide if what am I thinking for next week, and we're going to give the free room kind of a little glimpse of my process here. But so SMCI, I'm like a lot of the buyers, most of the activity is weeklies, just kind of closing that out. But what I look for is I'm like, what is here that pops out kind of late in the day for next week to give me an idea of follow through either direction. And it was 290C15. And I'm like, okay, that would be kind of the contract that I kind of have my eye on. But at the same time, we could easily flush and go test,
265.
280 again. And so, I, yeah, well, that too. I mean, we could get that further breakdown, and this one loves to do that. I mean, absolutely. But yeah. So the move back up on Friday is not necessarily indicative of follow through to the upside. It's not like, okay, here's a reversal. We're gonna just go up from here. It's more what you said of just it kind of leveling out. So yeah, that was helpful.
here's
that was one
here's
that
here's
that
your
came to
big
mind.
here's your big picture of it, and what I would use as more of a directional tool in a stock like this because it is so big. But this yellow line right here on my day chart, this is a day chart. This yellow line right here is the same 30-day average I just talked about. So it's the same number, it's just in a graph. And then these are your daily
Yeah.
bars that are split between buyers and sellers. So you can see the lift is, we get more buyers and then we get above 30-day average volume with buyers. First sale candle on the day, I mean, that's 90% sell, right? We start bleeding out in
Yeah.
volume and we start bleeding out in buyers. The only buy candle is the doji. I mean, that's overwhelmingly buy and a
Mm,
doji, but it's not stopping the trend. So you need to, I think
gotcha.
on this, you need above, I'm looking for this number, this 3 million a day volume to come back in or
Mm,
more, and that should push it back up. Here, again, these are hour, but these are days. But as soon as this volume comes in, this thing lifts. I mean, it's overwhelming on this thing. It's probably like 5 or 6 million on the good days and 2 million on the bad days. So it's just a volume issue. They are in control. They are trying to bring you back
yeah.
by price, right? What it's going to make you buy the car? It's $100,000 car. You ain't buying it, right? You ain't writing that check. All right, it's 90 now.
Right.
All right, it's 80. When are you buying? When are people buying? And that's
Yeah.
exactly what they're doing. I mean, that's it. Are you buying this at 280, 270, 260? When are people buying? And they're
Yeah.
just making the market.
Oh, that's a good explanation. Absolutely. And I think a good example of a stock to you can see it pretty clearly. One of the reasons I like it stuff.
Perfect.
What what was your thoughts on crypto? Given that you had a tweet where you said that I well, I'll just paraphrase, but that you're kind of you're kind of a dope if you trade the coins instead of the stocks.
Yeah.
Um, what is why do you think that?
Well, they're securities. Coin ain't shit. Coin.
Yeah.
I got. You know how many friends I got. You know how many friends. You know how many friends I got. I ain't gonna say no names because I think a couple of them are still in this group. I ain't gonna say no names, but it legit came to me like they was a smart guy. It was like my buddy's friend's cousin's uncle did this startup coin thing. It's independent and private. Just throw 5 grand at it. You can put as much as you want, but you got to start with 5 grand and and it'll be fine. And I asked them 6 months later, so how you doing? And they're like, well, I can't get my money out, but it should be okay. And then you ask them another 6 months, and they're just like, yep, I lost that $5,000. And I don't think that happens with stocks.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a
Well,
freaking
no, no.
security. It's a
Now,
security,
I mean, like,
goddammit.
so, I mean, like Bitcoin, you're going to be able to get your money out. But in terms of how it's moving,
Can someone
in
steal your
relation
Apple
to
shares?
the stocks,
Can someone steal your Apple shares? No, not Apple.
no, I mean, not yet. No,
Okay, it's not
no.
the same. Even the almighty A plus blue chip pet rock Bitcoin ain't the same. Not yet.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there. But what I'll say though is that I think I see the appeal. I mean, especially all year, and it's what I did. I don't own much Bitcoin, but I own MSTR, and I thought that was a better way to own Bitcoin. And I thought that last December, I thought that in March, and and here we go, and we've seen what it's done. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. There's a reason that MSTR is one of the best performing stocks this entire year of anything. And Bitcoin had a very good year, but that particular stock, you know, vastly outpaced it because they own so much Bitcoin, because they're basically an ETF before these ETFs. And then in terms of what the price was doing, I mean, Bitcoin was up, just as a trader, Bitcoin was up like 2%, MSTR is up 6%, then 8%, 9%. And it's had several days like that all year long. And on the downside as well, Bitcoin sold off a bit. MSTR drops 6, 7, 8%. You're a trader, you grab a put and it takes off and and goes crazy. So just that range is extraordinary.
Yes.
And that's not the only one. The same thing with the smalls. The smalls are different in that they were way oversold. They hadn't really caught up to this move in Bitcoin. You park some money there, they take way the hell off. So there's just the rewards are so much better than messing with these coins, especially the smaller coins that are, I don't know, the Sheebs and Doges of the world that had that big move. Really going to be hard for them to replicate that, I think.
Yeah, no, that was just my main point of that tweet that you really can't argue with. Was it the security? The supporting points.
Yeah,
they're harder to trade. Like in general, when you're trading coins. I mean, I got buddies that trade the coins and do well, but they got this app, and you got to go through here, and you got to take it out this way, and it's. I got a Fidelity credit card. I can just swipe it. If it's that big of a purchase for me, I can just swipe that card. It's cool. Other than that, I don't like that. And then let's just go. You're just late on most of the stuff on the coins. I think. I mean, you just held Maya. If you diamond handed Mara this year, you're up 10x. And I don't think you can do that still with Bitcoin. I mean, I don't think it's gonna go 100% in 3 weeks. And even if it did, I think some of the stocks would outpace it, like you said. So there's just a lot of little things. I wouldn't go as far as to saying it's like comparing playing soccer to basketball because they have the same size ball. They are different games. I don't think it's that drastic, but they're different games. They're just different games. And I mean,
I'm with you.
Let's throw that out there. P, you don't know how to have PDT to trade them damn coins. That's probably why they were attracted in the first place. Ooh.
Oh yeah, open 24 hours.
Yeah.
All that. Yeah.
Fucking Cheetos.
Yeah, definitely with you there.
Before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about. You notice any weakness in the market?
No. I'm looking for it, but no.
Okay, well, I got you. So Apple with the news, obviously, that was going to break 200. We were going to talk about that, and it kind of pulled back a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably stuck there for a while. And then Airbnb, another one. I mean, you had it. and I just didn't see the strength. But we really rejected volume profile there. It's one of the ones I've seen reject pretty hard. Um, so yeah, I ain't seen much. Got a couple, but no, not yet. More sideways than down for you still.
No, yes. So like I'm looking at like AVGO, right? Made that massive
What's
move, and
that?
it seems like after a move like that, there that there's there'd be an opportunity like for sellers to just take this
Yeah,
right
there
back
is.
down,
There is.
and hasn't happened yet, and I don't see that there's going to have to be a reason. Microsoft says, we don't want as much of their stuff, which was a story that came out that was refuted that caused the last big drop. So I think you kind of need something like that. Instead of that, I see June 1550 and June 1600.
Let's go.
So I don't know what to say about that other than that's what I see. Other than that, it's just kind of mixed. They're controlling the upside with a lot of sold calls. It's a big topic Goose brings up. So that's kind of where we are. Is little limited upside on some of these. If you want to trade them, I think you got to wait for a red day and then catch the reversal. But I don't see big breakdowns. You haven't seen me pounding the table on SQQQ yet, which usually precedes a big drop. I don't mess with VIX. I don't understand it in terms of
Yeah, yeah.
option side. So so I kind of lean on SQQQ for that. But no, I don't see a lot of weakness. Market might take a breather, pull back a bit, but not a big trend change brewing in the SaaS and other tech I follow.
Yeah, I think if you're going to talk overextended charts or charts a little ahead, it is those semis. For me, they're. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
in. I'm in one of them. Pretty heavy, and I'm looking for the. I'm waiting for the ER report to kind of not show the growth that the chart is showing before I'm worried about it. So it's a case by case basis, but I haven't seen that yet. Um, COVID kind of helped those guys. Just gave them some
um,
bad numbers for about a year and a half. So everything they have, the last year and a half has been good based off going off those shitty numbers. I don't know how else to say that.
I talked a couple weeks ago about how FedEx's earnings are often kind of a barometer for
Yes.
the market. They had a pretty big drop. Numbers weren't catastrophic, but with them it's always what are they going to say, and so it was some of the guidance that brought them down, but they didn't break down further after that. It's kind of stabilized a bit, and I kind of like that one, to move back up. So yeah, I think it was just kind of like a stress test, and market bounced right back from it. So I go into trading until that stops happening. I'm not gonna lean towards the downside. I just look for the bounces off levels we know. That's kind of where I'm at with those.
Yeah, for me, I mean, October was a good example, and it's looking like November this year is a good example. But I always look for that initial overall where the market lifted, where everything started going. Like if it was a Russell
Yeah,
stock, I would definitely be worried about where it started in November. And as long as that doesn't break, for me, the pullbacks are healthy. Until that breaks, it's not a trend change or an unhealthy pullback. Um, but again, I'm more on the swing trading side, so I want to find that higher low and continue either to support or the previous high. So looking for one range on these is real easier. I think the range is probably the easiest part right now. We're back in that market where the range really is almost like an auto check on stocks. There's plenty of that. Um, it's just finding the higher low of support and trusting a higher low. Um, This one's a great example though, P. I like this. I'm surprised this isn't this didn't make your list last couple weeks, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
And post ER.
um, the last five.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah. Because we got 313. I can't talk
The
too much. Oh Jesus, you see that?
yeah, no, that one's good. And that was one where I did actually
Nah.
played the earnings on that. You get the crazy stupid 1,000% gainer overnight, and then what I do, I don't know what other people do, but when I do, like, if I make that much money on one contract, I'm like, okay, here's my FDX pool. I'm not going to short it. I'm going to wait, and I'm just going to play, the other side. And here's my FDX little pile of, and I'm just going to trade this stock out of this. Works for me. Just just to we trade a lot of the same stuff over and over, and you get a big move down like that. I'm like, I can at least get the middle of that candle, and that's what I'm going to trade towards. So, yeah, I'm on that one for sure.
Nice, nice. Do you see this blue line bounce by 8 cents?
Yeah. That's nice, and I guarantee I look in the options, and they're gonna line close to that too. So
God,
I can't get it to the penny with options strikes, but
yeah.
we get close.
Them pennies are important.
Hey, natural gas.
Oh, you want to do that? Let's go.
Natural gas take. Yeah.
Oh no, it's fucking warm. There ain't no one burning it.
Yeah.
I don't know. How is it not $20? We blew up a pipeline. We admitted it. I mean, where's that? Is it cold over there? Yeah. It looked kind of cold. I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know. It just seems like, in general, we're going to price control. We went from a White House that said they don't control gas prices. There's nothing they can do to, hey, we're pushing these down for you. So whatever one of those statements is true, it just feels manipulated, and it is kind of warm.
So there was a football coach that for Tampa Bay when they first came in the league, and they were terrible, right?
Yeah.
And so he said he had a 5-year plan.
Who?
And John McKay was his name.
Okay.
I think it was his name. So he said he had a 5-year plan to turn the team around, and they asked him, well, why 5 years? He said, well, I have a 5-year contract. So he's basically saying, like, if I set the plan for the length of my contract, I might not get fired while we try to turn this around. So I bring that story up to say that with natural gas, and I'm looking at UNG, what you want is time. You want as much time as you can possibly get, which in the option world, you're limited. Shares, you're not. But this is gonna recover $7, $8, $10, $12, and I think that you get it as close to 5 as you can, with plans to kind of buy down a bit. And all of the flow on this, I've got 15C leaps January 2025. Talk to me 1 year from now and see what your UNG shares are doing. That's my take on that, and that's my plan for it. I can't give you a weekly day trade on this or anything like that. I'll say that natural gas futures themselves, 250 is the area that I'm looking to hold here and make a move back to $3. I don't think you want to see this break back down to 2, but I think it can build from here and move back up. So I'm a buyer on the natural gas stuff. I think for trading monthlies and stuff like that, you look for the combination oil and natural gas trades, or you look for something like TEL, which is its own animal. But yeah, there's definitely an opportunity here. But that January of next year is what I think.
What's your price for natural gas? What was it? 3 something? Isn't it 3?
My price to where we kind of like.
Well, just like where it should be at, like
it's 350.
350. Yeah, so we're $1. I mean,
oh yeah. No, it should be between 350 and 5. Yeah, Jesus. 350 and 5 is where it should be.
Why is this? I mean, it's stupid cheap.
Yeah,
Stupid cheap.
yeah, it is.
Um,
And it's an opportunity, but traders get killed with options on short expirations. And even if they think so, like your average 0 DTE SPY trader, an option 3 months from now seems like an eternity. It's not enough for this, in my opinion. So I think you go to those leaps, or you just buy shares. But biggest opportunity sector to me is natural gas. You just need time.
I got one note on this stock. Um, now that I'm looking here, and it's just when it snows, buy shares. And not here, just on the East Coast.
Yeah,
Get a
there you
good
go.
snowstorm, buy shares, and it just hasn't happened this year. Um,
Right.
there's a
Yeah.
lot going on with this thing. Um, yeah, I'm with you though. If it's not the same, but if you're gonna the Tesla thing from last year around the first, if you're gonna buy this and hold this for 5 years, you're gonna be okay here. Your entry should be good here.
Yeah, and I'm not telling anyone don't put half your account
No,
in it or something. But I mean, you put $500 in UNG and you scale in. Talk to me a year from now. Let's see where you're at.
yeah.
Um, the other big commodities I'm looking at, copper is doing very well. That little pullback's nothing. The break at $4 is going to be the big thing. Aluminum already broke out, so 203 was my number there. We're at 211, so aluminum's a little bit ahead of copper, but copper's going to lift all of it. Copper, steel, aluminum. So that's a big watch. The first Q1, Q2 for me. Our list in the next session that the members will see are going to show some of that as well. So I'm looking at that. Silver is still a big watch for me. I think it just takes patience, and we just got to be picky about picking the best one. But yeah, silver $24 right now. Looking for 26 to get tested again. Once that finally breaks out, then I think those will really take off as well.
No gold. I thought you mentioned some gold too.
Oh, gold. Yeah, gold. I'm sorry. Gold. Story with gold still is that the stocks are way behind the price. I mean,
Yeah,
it's $2,070, and a lot of the miners, especially, flow is there. So a lot of centered on March and June. So I think build your plan around that. And it's one of those where you got a miner that's 350 right now, and the flow says March 5C. The strike is a price target. That's the kind of setup we're in on those. So look for that too.
yeah. I'm just looking at my list last week because there's a few of them there. Not to Oh yeah, I know how I'm gonna get this one going. So a lot of Twitter, end of the year. I just think a lot of them set the date end of the year. If I'm not to X destination, I need to rework things or whatever. Um, and 90% of traders fail. So a lot of them are reworking strategy, time commitments, and stuff like that. But the good ones, them 10% ones, um, they're paying taxes and talking about what they learned in 2023. So give these guys a little Christmas present. Give them a break. Not to bag on anyone too
The
bad this week. Um, what you learn in 2023, P?
I learned to use more of my work.
Nice,
I think
nice.
even I think psychologically, even if it's like we joke about one share gang all the time, but I mean, I really psychologically to see, even if it's $100 position, a $500 position, whatever it is, to see the work pay off across a range of stocks. has a lot of benefits for me, both in the account and also just, just psychologically, to keep pushing me to keep working, all of that. Recognizing days when the market is not in a great day to trade. And for me, that's not even like a big red day. Actually, usually is a good day to be around. But the days where things are just kind of flat and stagnant, um, just I don't need to bother with it. I don't need to try to push a trade in on a day like that. I can just study and watch, and I don't have to trade with the same amount every day. I gradually got off that. And then lastly, managing managing swings. Just I got a lot better at that. Kind of just having a plan for it as I went. You know, learning to keep a little bit, some free shares, rolling some option contracts, that kind of thing. So management. I think in terms of reading flow, I'm about the same as I was a year ago. I I'm not trying to I don't know how much better I can get at that. I think I'm pretty good at that. I think then for me it's just execution and getting better at managing that.
Nice, nice, nice. Um, top three for me for sure. Number one, and hopefully it comes through in what we do because it's a big part of what I do, is conviction. Um, really felt not that I missed, but that I could have got a lot more that last October, what turned out to be October. So I really told myself going in the year, find a spot, find a spot. There'll be a spot during the year that you'll be able to get in. Um, and I really stuck with that overall. Just have conviction in the overall market and what you're doing. Like stay on the plays, stay on the theses, stay on the just everything you see. Like trust it. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. But just have that little bit of extra trust, and that really paid off for me. Even though, again, I'll still say I didn't get enough of it. Um, Even though I think I've nailed that bottom of the year pretty good. Um, and then time and sales just continues to. I mean, if there's one place I can improve, I'm with you. How you said like you can only get so good at flow reading. I can only get so good at. I mean, I'm to the penny. How close can you get? I mean, it's not going to get much better on the TA side for me. But reading time and sales, you just see the little tricks and the stuff that's repeatable. And it is like watching the Matrix, so you got to learn how to filter it the right way for yourself. Each stock's different in that regard too. But just having that tool bag, that is one of the things where I have felt like I've grown over the year and continue to grow. So I stress everybody, if you have time, watch some time in sales. You can also do it on options, probably just moves a little bit slower. Um, and lastly, what I'm still kind of crappy at, and I think everybody's crappy at, and I think it's what makes really good traders in the long run is, and go to the baseball analogy, but learn how to run the bases. I mean, I can get on base all day. That's easy. But not just taking the
Yeah.
single, not getting less than the single because I was hanging out too long, but just learning how to run the bases a little bit better. And that's definitely my
Oh
focus
yeah, I mean,
here for 24.
in the option world, you hit a double in the first 30 minutes. Don't steal third and get thrown out by entering another trade, 20 seconds later. So yeah, I mean that's definitely that's definitely the case there. And I'm a huge baseball fan, so that's always always a good analogy for me. Looking for your pitch and whatever. But yeah, no, that's good stuff.
Well, yeah, and then on the
Yeah,
long
as far
run,
as the
like
Twitter
like
guys,
with what I said with the system last week, like you learn your system, right? Like it works for you. You just want to apply it, right? Like I found an edge. Let's just spread that shit.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean that's the same thing. You can get
right.
on base. Anyone can get on base. Learning to get on base really isn't the hard part. It's when it's managing when you get on base and turning that single into a double or knowing, hey, this is only a single. Let's just move on and go find another setup. So
And real quick, my observation with the Twitter guys, and I won't bag on them too much, but when you the word transparency actually, it seems like that's a good thing, but that's actually a kind of a red flag to me when they start talking like that, because what they do is they share their big losses, and then they're like, you know, then the pep talk comes in. We're going to learn from this, and we're going to pick ourselves up and be better. I don't know if it's like a generational thing. I think of the cliche with the participation trophies or whatever, but I'm just kind of like, why you follow a guy who's losing that much money right now? And like, and then his room grows because of the transparency. And I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. So that's the social media thing. So it's part of this whole FinTwit trading world that I don't think I'll ever understand.
Yeah, I'm so bad at social media. I just figured out that they tweet because I just got the verified thing. Full disclosure, I did that. But I
Yeah,
was like, all right, so what do I got to do?
yeah,
What are the things that I need to do with that? And you got to tweet like 3 times an hour. That's part of it. And I'm like, I'm not fucking doing that. You better miss me with that. It's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
No, no. But that's part of it. Like you have to do that to get the engagement. And I was like when you, I just realized it. But it's like, you know how much time that is? Like, go fucking look at a chart. Go read some news. Really, it's read a news because that's what the youngsters don't do
Yeah, yeah.
across the fucking board. They don't read the news. But yeah, I don't want to bag on them too much. But Jesus, I'm not tweeting that
I
much, and
just
I'm tweeting like 5 times a day at you if it's
yeah.
funny. Only if it's funny.
Yeah.
Should we do
Yeah.
some spy and get out of here? Or?
Yeah, yeah, let's do it.
All right. So since we weren't aggressive enough at the end of the year. Monk had 471.33, so he was definitely the closest. That ain't that bad, actually, Monk. 471.33. That's not bad. That's a
Yeah,
B,
yeah.
B plus. Four six.
I was rooting for a little flash crash to get me there,
Uh,
but never came.
yeah, well, we got $4 on Friday. 4 bucks on Friday. It actually was real
Yeah,
close
yeah.
there on Friday. 467.69. Shout out to Goose for me. Um, yeah, what do you got going here? I don't know if you want to just talk the week or the
Sold
year or the quarter
puts.
or.
Oh well, um, I can talk Q1 and
Oh
what's
no, do what you want to do. If you just want to
brewing there.
go the day or the quarter or the, you want to do it just regular style
No,
or.
no, that was what I was about to do. I'm gonna talk January, February is
Okay,
what
let's
I'm
do it.
talking.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, so I got sold puts. I got sold puts at 460 and for January 19th,
Random number.
and it's a 74% bid side. 25,000 volume to 108,000 open interest. So this is just kind of a building position for them selling those. And then they're selling 216 2024 450p as well. So 460, 450, they're selling those. Until they start buying that, I'm thinking we're probably not even gonna test that. So to me, if we pull back kind of that 465 area, not next week, but like I'm just talking like in January, I could definitely see that. Now they're not too aggressive to the upside. I will say the 480C weekly at 1.5 is mixed. So we'll see where they lean with that. You want a crazy number?
520.
Um, no, to the upside.
Yeah, 520.
So this is
520.
December. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. No, this is higher than that in
Jesus.
longer term. So this is December of next year, 620C.
Jesus. 25.
Now, it does. Well, it'd be December 2024.
Oh
So like
Jesus.
the end of this coming
Wow.
year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I heard 520s in the,
As I don't know.
but I ain't heard no 620. It's possible.
It is. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's real early on that, so
Stops a
we'll
lot.
see. It's just interesting to me that end of the year, you know,
Yeah,
people throwing a
crazy.
dart at that. But yeah, I don't have a lot over 500 right now. I think it's a 480 break is gonna wake that up. So that's kind of my read right now. Sold puts dominate. This is what happened most of last year.
Interesting.
Trend continues.
So what numbers you got this week?
Let me see.
You had
This is
you had
getting
four you had
it's
four
getting harder to do.
we had 475 89.99 last week. So we were good on that. 68 on the bottom. What was our bottom? Yeah, no bottom in sights.
Um, I'm gonna say for my upside, I'm gonna say 478.82. And so basically those Friday 480s I think are gonna do well, but not I don't think we're gonna get there. And for my downside, I'm gonna say 473.58.
Mm, mm-mm. All right, let me pick a random number out my ass here. Hold up. Go this way. Yeah, the downsides are just so hard right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I like where you're at. I'm gonna go 474. One on the downside, and I'm
Okay.
gonna pick 502. Did I say five? Sorry. 482. Calm down. You got me all thinking fives now. 482.75 even. The reason I'm going that high, Pete, is because we have job numbers this week, and those fuckers cheat. So anything to make the White House look good. I think we get a pop there. I'm with you though. It doesn't last. Probably end up right back here end of the week. I'm waiting for a doji on this chart to be honest with you. Candles are getting smaller, but still haven't got a really tight one.
That uh this maps onto QQQ. I want to talk about that real quick before we close. Um, QQQ's been stronger than SPY because
Doji.
you just have to look at what's in it. There's no oil in QQQ. That's probably the biggest thing. But so what I would say about the Qs is that it's gonna follow SPY to the upside, and the upside is going to be a little more modest. When SPY finally does pull back, QQQ will outpace that to the downside, potentially a bit drastically, to where you break under 400 and you get, I don't know,
You get two.
396 or something. But is that what you have? 92.
No, man, I got like 320.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you get
Oh,
these
okay.
these
All right.
200 touches. That's where it goes if it pulls back.
Yeah, yeah.
Historically.
So yeah, so that I think is kind of the trajectory. It's why I honestly, when intraday, I prefer QQQ puts to SPY, just because, for those little 15-minute trades, just because it does kind of give you a bigger move. That's just a preference thing, but that's my read in general. The flow on it is fine. I mean, it's consistent with an uptrend, but I'm just saying that when the downside hits, that'll go there. And then if you do hedge, I don't know that most people really need to hedge that much, but the SQQQ shares, that's where you want to be when when the selling starts. So anyway,
That's that's
so that's my take there.
that's where QQQ should be just on basic pullback 365.59. But historically, if this thing like has a shit to bed cycle, it just goes back to the 200. You're way off of it right now.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah. I mean, it's coming. It's just when. Man, yeah. 365 right now, though. That would be like the absolute hellish skate. That chart's overextended, though. Jesus.
Yeah. You can't swing puts in this, though, or I wouldn't even try it. But I do think that those SQs, there's a decent. It's almost a buy it and go back to work stock at this point with how overextended we are.
If you
So
if you get bad news in like
that's my take there.
Nvidia or bad ER in Nvidia or one of the bigger components of QQQ, probably easier to buy a put in QQQ than it is to short the stock.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
That's just saying.
Because anything you get a red day from 0.8% to 1.5% or something like that. Those puts they move very well, and also you can just do market orders because the spread is $1. So
Does
yeah, I'm with you
SQQ
there.
Does SQQ have the historical reverse split? Do you know?
No, I don't. I'm not sure. I
Me
don't know.
neither. Me neither.
I'd have to look. I don't. I
Yeah, in
don't think it
22, in
does.
22,
I don't
13,
see one.
one for five
Oh,
reverse
okay.
split in
There it is.
2022. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Interesting. I mean, that's a possibility there. That's the only reason I said that. That's a possibility there.
Yeah. Definitely.
Perfect.
That was
Are
a
you
good
ready?
session.
Yeah, you ready to get to work?
S- s-
Let's do it.